Ever wonder how science could bring dinosaurs back to life? Dinosaurs are one of the earliest inhabitants on Earth, but due to two theories that scientists discovered, most of the population of dinosaurs have become extinct. The theories that scientists came up that might have been the cause of the extinction are extraterrestrial impact or volcanoes. Some believe that it is either asteroids or volcanoes, and some believe that it could be both. It is still unclear which is the cause of the extinction, but will science be able to bring dinosaurs back to life?
In order for us to answer this question, we need to recap on the topic of genetics. Each of us has received something called genes, which are traits that we have inherited from our parents, whether it be our skin tone, eye color, and even the shape of our ears. The genes are made up of a molecule called DNA, or also known as deoxyribonucleic acid. The DNA is the carrier of our genetic information that we have obtained and is found inside the nucleus of a cell. It contains very important information, and so they are not allowed to leave the nucleus. Instead, the cell creates a copy of the DNA strand, and this is called the RNA, ribonucleic acid, which are allowed to leave the cell. The DNA contains 4 bases: A, adenine, T, thymine, G, guanine, and C, cytosine. And these bases are specifically partnered up together, so the A's with the T's and the G's with the C's. The base pairs creates different types of sequences in the DNA that makes up the different traits that we have that make us unique. According to scientists, all humans are 99.9% identical, meaning that 99.9% of base pairs in our DNA are all the same except for that 1% of base pairs that makes each and every one of us different. Also, if you count all the base pairs, there are about 3 billion pairs, which makes you wonder, how does this all fit in our small cell? The DNA molecules in the form of a double helix that almost looks like a spiral staircase and is very condensed, which allows its length to be shortened at a reasonable length to fit inside the cell. In today's society, scientists know how you can inherit certain traits passed down from your ancestors. They're able to calculate the probability of you getting these certain characteristics, such as diseases that can be inherited. How is it possible to inherit certain traits? To understand how traits are passed down, we must go back to the mid-19th century, where a monk named Gregor Mendel discovered the principles of heredity by experimenting on his pea plants that he loved to grow in the monastery garden. This goes to show that traits are passed down through probability and depends on which allele is dominant or not. The Human Genome Project was an international research effort to determine the sequence of a human genome and identify the genes that it contains. The project was coordinated by the National Institute of Health and the U.S. Department of Energy with additional help from other countries. It formally began in 1990 and was completed in 2003, 2 years ahead of its original schedule. The work of the Human Genome Project has allowed researchers to begin to understand the blueprint for building a person. As researchers learn more about the functions of genes and proteins, this knowledge had a major impact in the fields of medicine, biotechnology, and the life sciences.
But you are probably wondering, how is this all related to our topic? As you learned, all living organisms contains a very important genetic information, the DNA, which have specific sequences that makes up the different parts of the body. Because of this, scientists are able to discover that birds are the living descendants of dinosaurs, as they both show very similar traits. So in order for scientists to actually bring dinosaurs back to life, it is very important for them to obtain these patterns and sequences in a dinosaur's DNA. This information will for sure allow them to recreate or clone dinosaurs and bring them back to life. On July 30th, 2003, a team of Spanish and French scientists were able to bring back an extinct animal, the bocardo, which is a type of wild goat. These scientists were lucky enough to be able to preserve the living cells left in Celia, the very last goat of its kind, and used this to experiment using the process of cloning. And this was done by a team of reproductive physiologists led by Jose Folch. Out of 57 implantation, only one surrogated mother was able to give birth to Celia's clone. Using this idea, we can do the same thing with dinosaurs. As mentioned before, birds are living descendants of dinosaurs, and so we can use them to create clones. In order for scientists to do this, they need to use a living dinosaur cell, extract its nuclei, and use an empty, unfertilized egg to inject the dinosaur nuclei in. But the question is, where will they be able to get these dinosaur cells? Paleontologists such as Jack Horner have been searching along with other scientists to find dinosaur DNA, but unfortunately they were not able to find any because they break down too fast. There are also a number of different ways we can create dinosaurs, such as biologically modifying a bird into a dinosaur by stimulating their genes to create certain characteristics that dinosaurs have, such as long tails and sharp teeth. The problem with this process is that the bird can be turned into a dinosaur physically, but genetically they won't be the same. In the future, scientists may actually bring dinosaurs back to life, and with this we can show how far we have come with the advanced technology we've created. Though the idea of bringing dinosaurs back to life is very interesting and fun, there are still things that we don't know about them, and that may just put us at risk.